think maybe, there we go. We'll see when we get up. All right. So, hello everyone. Hello, hello. Let me adjust you guys just a little bit. There we go. Maybe a little bit down, a little bit back. There. All minor adjustments. Okay. Let's see. And Facebook, maybe I need to get that camera a little bit up, but okay. So, welcome to another Tango Movement Lab. And today I wanted us to start with some patterning. We did, if you had the chance to go through the exercise of the week, we had this emerging pattern where it is a pattern that we find in embryological development, and it is a structure, a pattern that we have gone through as we were emerging from our mother's womb. So it is a pattern that is based in and gets the support from the flexor tone, and then that gives us the support and energy and base to emerge and create the extension. So we're going to use that, we're going to go back to that, and then we're going to explore more patterns of ease. And of course, we're going to put it into a tango concept and dance concept. So with no further ado, let's get started. You will see that I have heels on just for the sake of saving time. I encourage you to stay off heels. For now, it's much more comfortable to do. So if you have a chair, this would be the time to bring it in. I have my chair right here, and there we go. All right, so take a seat, and once you take a seat, you will notice that when we're sitting, we're just letting go. Especially if your chair has a back, you usually just relax over it. That's why the chairs are built this way. So instead, let me just slightly adjust you guys so you can see my feet. There we go. Okay, so go ahead and slump. Go ahead and slump. You probably haven't heard a dance instructor tell you that, but go ahead and let go, because that's where you usually start from. There's no point of starting in a structured position when usually in your daily life you would be sitting like this. So we try to get out of this habit and create a new one. So in the concept of creating a new one, go ahead and slump and relax back in your chair. And then bring your feet a little bit closer and start creating pressure as if you're like walking in the seat. And let that pressure come into the spine and feel that wave. So step, step, step. And slowly you're gonna realize, if you don't leave it at the feet, this is not what we want. We want to root and as if we're pushing our way off the chair, but we're not standing. Let's put it that way. So you're pushing, but you're not just standing yet. You sit, you slump back. Push, push, push. And you'll notice that your pelvis is engaged. You also want to find the tail, and we want to go all the way up the chain, all the way into the head. So make sure that you're not doing any funny business like this, disconnecting the neck and the head. And you'll start to notice that you're no longer falling all the way back. You'll start to notice that yes, maybe you're flexing, but you're preparing for the next press, right? So you'll start to notice that there's more tone along the front of the body, and this is the flexor tone that we are looking for. Press, 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 press. Let's do two more. 1 and 2. Good. And now without the feet, create that flexion. Don't go back to this. create that flexion in the front. Make sure that you're not collapsing in the neck so you can still breathe. Make sure that you're not collapsing in the chest. Again, you can still breathe. And you're still preparing, you're building this spring, only now you're not using the feet, but you're using that experience. And then from the crown of the head, you're emerging as if you're coming up from a dive in the water. So place your hand on the top of your head and notice that that engages the feet. Your feet are also looking for support in the floor, and it also engages your tail that's also looking, creating a little impulse towards your chair. And emerge into extension and create that flexion. So this flexion becomes your base. You're turning inward to go outward. So you're turning inward to go outward. Inward, and this is your spring right here at the front of the body to go outward. And you'll feel that your feet are massaging the floor like this, and your tail is doing a similar impulse, and your neck and head are looking for the way up. Okay, one more. And look for the way up. Very nice. Now let's go and do the same thing. Keep your position if you can. Let's go and do the same thing, only we're going to be tilting to one side. So it's the same action. It's the same action of creating this flexion, only now it is tilted to the side. So your head is not going forward, it's going on the diagonal. And this will take your, make sure that your head, again, you're not collapsing in your neck. Let me go this way so I can talk to you. If you're not collapsing, so you can still breathe. And then your chest follows, right? And then now your hips want to differentiate and want to open, so your belly button is going to the opposite direction of your chest. And you will allow for the feet to pivot. And then you're going to come back to center, and you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Just finding the flexion. Come back. As you're coming back, you're emerging again to come back, and go over, come back, go over, come back, go over, come back, go over, come back. Last time, you're going to stay over, and now you're not going to just emerge to a seat, you're going to emerge all the way up. So the back foot is on your weight is on the metatarsals, your front foot is flat on the floor, your hips are slightly open, belly button looking in that direction, head looking in this direction, so you have like a triangle. And from the crown of the head, you're starting to look for the way up. And also from the tail, you're looking for grounding. From the feet, you're looking to ground. And you make your way up. And then again, with a back leg, you look for an entry to the chair. You negotiate that change of level, placing one hand on the seat. And you come back to change sides. Change sides. And here you can see my feet, how the back foot is on the ball of the foot, so I'm not falling back here. And this is going to help me push. One hip is also, most of my weight is over one hip. And now I'm looking for my way up through the crown of the head to emerge. Look for the seat. So as you're sending one leg back, your body will tilt forward. And you're going to negotiate your way down, placing one hand off to the seat and making your way back down. Okay, here we go. Other side, emerge up. So this pattern is coming to play every time. Come up. Look for the seat. So you're looking for the seat with a free leg, the one that's at the back, with the hips. Your body is counterbalancing, and you find this curve. You find it here again, and you make your way down. You twist over. You make your way up. You make your way down. You make your way up. And try to see if you can speed up a little bit, so when you're here, you're not zeroing in, having to start over, but you're always aware that you want to change sides. So this is continuously in transition, and then this pattern of emerging gives you the buoyancy to come up and the support as you're coming down. Transition over, up, and down. And you can use the arms to help you, give you a little bit of push, either on the chair or with a free hand as you're coming up. Coming up, coming down, last time coming up, coming down, coming up, and stay up. Get rid of the chair, and I'm going to place you up a little bit. Sorry about that. Okay, I think I need to lift this camera just a bit. It's kind of different today for some reason. Okay, let me see. Okay, I think this is better. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now standing, let's find the same, sorry, this is funny. Okay, let's find the same pattern. Yeah, that's better. Let's find the same pattern. Now you don't collapse anymore. You have the experience from the chair. So create the flexion, and you have everything participating. Remember not to close in, so you can still breathe. And emerge into extension, and flex, and emerge into extension. And one more time, flex, and emerge into extension. Okay. Now we go to from side to side. Allow for the feet to differentiate and emerge into extension and side. So this leg is more free than the front one. And up and side and up. Last time, side and up, and take a moment to observe your posture now. Notice a natural, notice the shape of the spine. Notice how your abs, the front part of the body is engaged. There is tone, but you're not pulling in. And you should be feeling like a readiness to move. Yeah, which is exactly what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to put a song on. Try to play with that posture. Notice how it changes as you go from just standing on 2 feet to dancing. Okay. Let's. Let me see. Something. No. Yeah, let's do. Some something non-tango to start. Play with it.
Drink up, baby, stay up all night for the things you could do. You won't, but you might. The potential you'll be that you'll never see. The promises you'll only make. Drink up with me now and forget all about the pressure of days. Do what I say and I'll make you okay and drive them away. The images stuck in your head. People you've been before that you don't want around anymore. That brush and shove them all into your will. I'll keep them still. Drink up, baby. Look at the stars. I'll kiss you again. Between the bars where I'm seeing you there with your hands in the air, waiting to finally be caught. Drink it one more time and I'll make you mine. Keep you mine deep in my heart, separate from the rest. Where I like you the best, but keep the things you forgot. People you've been before that you don't want around anymore. That push and shove and more into your will. I'll keep them still.
All right. Nice and short. Here we go. Pause. Okay. Perfect. All right. So you probably noticed if you were trying to revisit this wave. Let me turn this way. This emerging wave. That if you lock the knee, then or if you're pushing against the floor, that doesn't quite work. So we need to create a relationship as we're stepping, so we're able to feel that emerging pattern and feel that the body is flowing through the step. If of course we don't want to create that element of stop. So if you don't want to create a stop, if you want to create a flow, let's see how we do it basically. Okay? So let's start with this. Finding, let me turn this way. As you're coming, bring one leg up, bring the accompanying hip up, and allow for the body to orient itself towards the free leg. So this is just before you step and come up. If you let the body orient itself towards the free leg and make sure that's completely free, what is happening? The hips, your belly button will be facing the standing leg. So your foot will fall closer to the center line of the body without crisscrossing. Okay, so don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. Just lift, and allow for the body to orient itself over and feel in your standing hip that the forces are running down and not to the side like this. Okay. So if you're feeling pressure on the outside of your hip, it means you've gone too far. You need to actually do the opposite. And then place. So it's almost like letting your leg fall. So notice now that we have both of these waves, they're coming into play. And it doesn't matter if you're gonna leave your foot flat or if you're gonna go from the toes. Just make sure that you're not falling over the inside or stopping with your heel, especially if you're not wearing heels. That could be something that you do. Okay, so lift one leg, let your body orient towards that side, let your hips orient towards the other side, and flow through the rebound. Flow through the rebound. And your body will wave in this way as well. So you have you feel like a wave in the sagittal, and you also feel this, like a little shimmy. And, and, and. One more. And change sides. Lift. Take the test how this standing hip feels. Allow for the hips to orient themselves towards the standing leg, the upper body towards the free leg, and it's an orientation of a twist and a side reach. And flow, lift, 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 lift. Good. Let's do a couple more. Let me turn towards you. Lift. One more. Good. Change over to the other side, and we're going to do the same thing if we're going back. So, yeah. Let me stay here. Again, you lift. You orient your body towards the free leg. Now it's not going to be at the front. It's going to be at the back. So, of course, we don't stop here when we're taking a step, but for the sake of the exercise, we will. Okay, here we go. So orient the body towards the free leg, the hips towards the standing leg, rebound back. And you let the body find its flow. So that's the important part, not to be stuck here in a weird position. So you let the upper body, you start from here and you flow through it. Make sure you don't forget about your tail and you don't forget about the crown of the head. So this is the moment right before you step, right before you start allowing for weight to go over this foot. Be careful when you're going back not to be stuck on the inside, on the big toe. Don't let weight fall on the big toe. Instead, direct it towards between the second and third metatarsals. Good. Last one. And change sides. Here we go. We were here at the front. Take that leg to the back and flow. There we go. And you remember how we were coming up and we were letting that arm help us out when we were sitting in the chair? Let that happen here too. Oops. Two more. Good. So, let me stay here. Our exercise now will be, we will use the ocho cortado to play with this step. The ocho cortado, if you don't remember, it goes like this. 1, 2, 3. Imagine your partner's here, if you are a follower. Back, side, cross. So what do we have? We have a series of rebounds and steps. We have, starting with the right leg going to the back. 1, 2, 3. My partner now is here. And now I pivot, open up to the side, 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 cross. And 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Let's stay with 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay? Hopefully that sounds good. So one more time, and I'm going to suggest that you do 2 rhythms. One, the regular one that you normally do, the one that you're used to, okay? Whichever one that is. Second, try hitting every downbeat, so much slower. Bam, bam. And this is the moment where you have the opportunity to find those qualities. Bam, bam. Bam, 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 bam. So much slower, finding the downbeat. It doesn't have to be for the whole song because it might get, then that becomes the exercise and it takes away from the pattern we are exploring. But we are slowing it down in order for you to be able to find those transitions. Okay, let's go. Find those transitions. Here we go. Oops. There. Oops. Okay. All right. Pause. Okay. So, to conclude, I wanted to introduce to us a few tools that are coming from our past and our structure. Our past is embryological development and how we emerge from our mother's womb. that emerging pattern. We carry it with us. Maybe we don't remember, of course, but we carry it with us, and it is very supportive if we find it and use it to create a better understanding of posture. And then the how we manage to orient the volume and play with a relationship between the different volumes of the body, the head, the torso, the chest, and the hips, and how that allows us to flow through movement. And then putting it into a step that we know it very well, which is our ocho cortado, a step that uses a lot of uses rebounds, uses steps, a little bit of a pivot, a cross. So it allows us to play and look for these relationships to make to help ourselves move more freely through that pattern. So stay tuned because the exercise of the week will give you more fun ways to play with the pattern of the ocho cortado, and you'll get to go really slow and explore these transitions so you don't get stuck, and also how you go to being very playful and upbeat but without creating that sense of tension and shock. So we're gonna play with those elements. Look for it on Friday. It's coming up. Till then, take good care, keep on dancing, stay safe, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.